Welcome back to the Pomchi pack, everyone. If you are new here, welcome. On this channel, we do cover a variety of different content, from product reviews to digital art to inexpensive DIYs. We do a little bit of everything here, so if one of those things sounds good to you, I highly recommend that you join us and subscribe and officially join the Pomchi pack. It is free. But anyway, with that said, today's video I am going to show you how to get started into digital art, not only to know if it's something that you want to do, but the materials that you'll need to do it. And then lastly, knowing what skills you need to even start. So let's get right into it. Roll the intro. Digital art, there is a bit of a barrier of entry because it's a little less approachable than finding a pencil and a paper somewhere in your house. But instead of getting a million colors of markers, a million colors of pencils, a million different textures of paper, and somewhere to have to put all of that, for digital art it is quite simple comparative to all of the things that you need for physical materials for regular art. To get started into digital art, you'll only need two of the following things. Number one, something to draw on. That be an iPad, an Android tablet, or a pen tablet even, which is a much more affordable option. I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. And number two is something to draw with. So if you have an iPad, that would be the Apple Pencil. If you have an Android tablet, it'd be like something like the Samsung Pencil pen. And if you have a pen tablet, it conveniently comes with a pen to go with your tablet. If you are just getting started into digital art and just kind of want to dip your toe in the water, I highly recommend you select the pen tablet option. It's not super expensive, it's about $60 or $70. And there's several options on Amazon that I will have linked down below for you to look at and give yourself a try. There's options with screens and without screens. The ones without screens, you just connect to a computer, a laptop, or a phone, and you use that said thing as your screen, if that makes sense. The ones with screens work a lot like an iPad or an Android tablet. It's just more limited in what it can do because it's just there to draw. So I do highly recommend that option if you are just trying to dip your toe into digital art, see if it's something that you enjoy, and maybe get into it a little bit more. However, if you know that you love digital art and you're getting a lot more into it and you need to find a way that it works better, let's say that you already started with a pen tablet like me. I started with this Parblo tablet from Amazon. I think I spent about $60 on it. And I was just really wanting to get into digital art. And the pen tablet was difficult because whenever I used it, I'd have to be tied to my desktop in order to use it. Now this is of course the more expensive option, as the iPad that I have so greatly been blessed with from family members who have helped me start my full-blown digital art journey. I got the iPad Air 5th generation, and it was the 256 gigabyte one, so that runs about $700, $700 versus $70, big gap. If you're really serious about getting started into digital art, but you're not really quite sure about if that's a big investment that you want to make quite yet, start with a pen tablet, decide if it's something that you enjoy enough to invest in yourself there. Because a tablet does give you a lot of freedom to be able to create when the inspiration hits, because you can carry the tablet with you wherever you go. A pen tablet is much more cumbersome because it has a wire, it has a separate screen, but if you are doing one that has a screen, and it's about $200, something like that for one that does have a screen, it's a lot more flexible. However, it is a bigger investment than just $70. So make your decision as you will to your commitment and passion into digital art at this moment. As I mentioned before, I am so very blessed to have been helped to get this iPad Air that I've been using. It has been fantastic. I've been using Procreate, I've been using GoodNotes. I will do a video on every different way that I use my iPad currently, and I'm sure I will do a follow-up video in the future as I've had my iPad for longer, and share with you guys how my use of it has evolved. It does help a lot with making my own animations. As you guys have probably noticed, if not this video, the next one, I will have a new intro animation for you guys to enjoy. And that was all thanks to my new iPad. Because I use an iPad, I prefer to use Procreate for all of my digital art drawing needs. Procreate is super easy to learn, and the sky is really the limit with it. It's super basic, but it's also super in-depth depending on what your ability level is. Now for Android tablet users, I do recommend Sketchbook. And as for the third option, if that's the one that you've selected, the pen tablet usually does come with a drawing program of some sort. The pen tablet that I got for $60 or $70 off of Amazon came with a drawing program called Krita. Krita is very similar to Photoshop. It's probably a simplified version of Photoshop. It doesn't quite have the same capabilities as Procreate, but if you are just getting started into digital art, Krita is a great way to get introduced to the program. Now, once you have your pen tablet, your iPad, your Android tablet, whatever it is that you have chosen, now that you have it in your hot little hands, the question is, what do I draw? What do I do with this? How do I get started, right? Now, I'm very familiar with that problem. I consider myself a pretty creative person, but when it comes to just instant inspiration, I think a lot of us do struggle with just coming up with inspiration out of thin air. Great solution that I personally have found for this problem is YouTube tutorials. I highly recommend that you search for YouTube tutorials in the program that you're using. So if you're on iPad, look for Procreate drawing tutorials. If you're on an Android tablet, look for Sketchbook drawing tutorials, and etc. Same thing with your pen tablet. There are drawing tutorials for Krita. Now, personally, since I do have an iPad, I have direct experience with finding tutorials for Procreate. There are two channels that I highly recommend for this topic, and the first one, definitely number one, is the channel Art with Flow. Art with Flow does a great job of breaking down a tutorial into basic steps using the tools of Procreate to help you feel like you're more skilled in drawing and digital art, because it helps the app do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And sketching and stuff like that is a little bit more basic, with basic shapes that Procreate can help use the snapping tool for, so it can make nice clean shapes for you. She also includes a treasure chest from the website freefromflow.com. There's a treasure chest of all these different brushes that you can use. Not only does she share a treasure chest of free brushes, but her tutorials almost always use the free brushes that are included in Procreate. The second channel option is Genevieve's Design Studio. I will have both of these linked down in the description box below. I recommend this channel for those of you who are already kind of experienced in art. She does a lot more free-form sketching than compared to Art with Flow. Art with Flow uses a lot more structured lines, and Genevieve does a lot more free-formed animal creatures. So I highly recommend Art with Flow for the beginner, and Genevieve's Design Studio for anybody who wants to maybe get some extra inspiration, but has already started their art journey. But if you really are a true beginner, if you feel like maybe you have never been good at art, but it's always been something that you've enjoyed, join the club. Digital art may be just what you need. It really was for me, because honestly, I can achieve so much more through digital art than I ever thought ever possible. Because of the fact that it really does do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, and you don't need to have a million different materials for art things. You don't need different blenders, you don't need 17 million different shades of purple. I was able to make this drawing with just an iPad and an Apple Pencil. Although those things were very expensive, I don't need to know exactly what to buy in order to get this result. You will really surprise yourself with what you can do with digital art, and if you are considering starting out, I highly recommend that you at least dip your toe in the water, because it really might awaken something in you. There's always a reason not to do something, but I think what life is all about is finding the reasons to do it anyway. And in all actuality, no matter if it takes you months, weeks, years, you can save up $60 to get a pen tablet. You can save up $200 to get a pen tablet with a screen, and you can decide if digital art is something that will bring you joy in your life. Now, I truly hope that this video has helped you, whether it has maybe helped you decide to take the plunge and do what you've been thinking of doing for a long while, or if maybe even this video has just got you thinking. But that is it for today's video. If you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below and I will get them answered for you. If you'd like to join me for more digital art content, definitely subscribe and join the Pomchi pack, because there is more of this content in the future. This is just the tip of the iceberg today. Make it a great week by trying something new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now!